think we got it figured out. So sorry for the late start. Those have been waiting around for the live feed. Right. Looks like we're good. All right. Welcome back for another body weight workout. We are going to be keeping things pretty well body weight based today, but we will have an opportunity to do a little bit of light dumbbell or lightweight work. So if you have dumbbells somewhere in that 5 to 15 pound range, again, water bottles work, or any other type of object you can find around the house. You can even load up some grocery bags or something like that, or grab a pineapple, whatever you got handy. We do have a little bit of upper body work, so we'll do some weights with that. We're going to warm up as per usual, guys. I'm going to get into the workout. The workout today is going to be somewhere around 35 minutes long, but with the late start, we'll probably go to about 1:45. All right, so hopefully you guys are doing good. Timer's ready to go. Okay, let's get started, guys. A little bit of a lighter workout today as well. So if you want a bit more intensity, then join us in about 5 hours at 5 o'clock. We will go into some heavier weights. If you've got heavy dumbbells, heavy kettlebells, and you want to make use of them at home, then come back at around 5 p.m. All right, jumping jacks here. We're just going to get the heart rate going. Some nice basic cardiovascular exercises to get warmed up. For whatever reason, I thought yesterday was Friday, so I already wished you guys all a good weekend. Obviously, I was the day ahead, so I got an extra day out of the week. That's not a bad thing. All right, we're going to take a step forward into the lunge and push back to a standing position, other side. If you're more comfortable stepping back into your lunge, that's usually going to put a little less pressure in the knee. That's fine. Side. All right, for here, we're going to take a bigger step forward, place the back knee on the floor, grab a hold of the outside of the knee with your opposite arm. So my right arm grabbing onto my left knee. I'm going to pull my torso into a nice, tall twist. Come back to the front, kick back, other side. Big step forward, back knee to the floor. Left hand grabs the outside of the right knee, pull and twist the torso. Just opening up the spine here. We got one more of those. Right leg back. Right hand's going to grab the knee, pull and twist. Back up, other side. That one feels nice, doesn't it? Come on up. Keep your legs hip width apart, knees straight, slide the hands down the ankles. And just wiggle out the legs and the hips. Getting a nice little stretch into the back of the legs. Walk the hands out to a plank position. If this next one's a little too tricky, then I'll show you an alternative when you're lying down on the floor. But if you got it, we're going to take our right leg, reach up and over as far as you can get. Replace the foot. And other side. Keeping your hands on the ground. That's a little too tricky, and you can keep going. You're gonna lie down on the floor, face down, arms up to the side. Same thing, pick up the right leg, reach it up and over. You might even be able to touch your heel to the floor. So this is called scorpion. Other side. You can do it from the plank position, or from the prone position. One more on each. Up and over. And up and over. Very good. All right. Come on up to a kneeling position. Left leg is going to go out to the side. So my whole body is facing forward. Only my left leg is pointing out sideways. And I'm going to take a decent sized step out. And then I'm going to shift or glide my torso in the direction that my left foot is pointing. This is going to bring a nice stretch into the inner thigh, into the hamstrings. And you might get it in both legs at the same time, or more just the leg that's out to the side. do 2 more oscillations here. Try to get a little bit lower or deeper each time you get back down there. Good, bring the knee in, and right leg stepping out to the side. All right, glide it out. Just a nice warm-up drill for the hips. One more. Very good. Come to a seated position. We're going to drop our legs to the right. So we're in this nice 90-degree position in both legs. Keep the torso tall. Use your hands on the floor if you need to, or challenge yourself by not touching the floor, or even keeping the arms straight up. We're going to pivot. My knees are still at 90 degrees, and I'm coming off to the opposite side. So 90-90 hip rotations here. We're just going to go back and forth about 4 times in each direction. If you're struggling with holding your balance, nothing wrong with putting your hands back, but really try to keep the 90-degree angle at your knees. And try to keep the torso upright. Try not to lean back, because that'll lose a lot of the stretch or the mobility work. Last one. Good. Okay, come on up. Just a little bit of wrist work, because we are on the hands a little bit today. After the wrists, then we're going to get into the workout. Let me start by talking about our format. So, we have 3 circuits, I should say, or 3 sections of the workout. Each section will start with the same exercise before we get into the new exercises. So we're going to do a single leg walkout at the start of each circuit. After the single leg walkouts, then we have 4 exercises within the circuit, and we're going to be doing about 4 sets of each exercise. Each exercise will be 40 seconds long, and we have 20 seconds in between the exercises. So we have lots of rest and recovery time today. Yeah, should be good, guys. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my dumbbells. Okay, so if you have light weights or some type of light object, take that out now, because that will come in handy when we get started into the actual exercises. I'm going to go through them really quick so you see what they are. Our first one is called a zigzag raise. So starting with the weights by your side, we're going out, and then we're going to glide forward, and then raise them overhead as high as you're comfortable going, and then back down to shoulder height, out to the side, and then reset to the start. So it makes kind of a zigzag motion. Don't worry, I'll do that with you later on when we get into the workout. The second exercise is a bicep curl, and then we're going to forward press with the palms up. We did this workout, or this exercise, a few workouts ago. So curl up, forward press, back into the shoulders, and bring it back down. That's our first 2 exercises. The next one is an offset squat. So standing with my feet hip width apart, I'm going to shift my body weight onto my left leg. I'm going to lightly touch back with my right foot, and then I'm going to go into a squat motion, keeping as much body weight as I can in through my left side. The back leg is there for balance and to unload as much body weight as you need, but we're trying to focus on that one leg. Alright, so I'm going to get our timer started here, guys. The first exercise, as I said, is a single leg walkout. And we're going to do 40 seconds on one leg, 40 on the other. So it's a lot of walkouts today. The way the walkout works, stand on one leg. You're going to hinge forward, put your hands on the floor, walk out to a plank. You can put a push-up in if you want to. Walk your hands back to your foot, and then you're going to get upright without touching your foot to the floor. So the challenge is never touch your second leg or your raised leg at any point in the exercise. All right. I'm going to start on my right leg. So left leg up, Here we go. You're gonna hinge down, hands to the floor, walk out to a push-up or plank position. Walk it back up, and then stand up without touching this foot down. And repeat. We're doing this for 40 seconds. You can put the push-up in if you choose to, and then back up. I'll show you again from the side. You keep going. You want to get into this nice horizontal position. Back leg kicked out, torso as horizontal as possible. My planted knee is always soft, so we don't need to or necessarily want to lock it out. Okay, other side. Here we go. Hinge down, keep the knee soft, hands to the floor, walk it out. You can add the push-up if you want. Walk it back in, find that nice long position. Stand without touching, and repeat. Whew, last one here. Good. All right, 20 seconds. Get your weights out if you have them. If you don't have weights, just do the motions with your arms. It won't be that challenging. Or you can stand on bands. If you got bands, get your resistance bands out. That works too. All right, 40 seconds of zigzag raises. Here we go. Out to the side, to the front. Bring them up, back down, shoulder height, slide them out, and then back to the torso. That's the whole movement. We're only gonna get probably 3 reps or so in the whole 40 seconds. Maybe 4 or 5. All the way up. When you get the weights overhead, we want to avoid leaning backwards at the spine. So try not to be here. We want to stay nice and tall. 4, 3, 2, and time. All right, bicep curl, forward press. And if you got no weights, this is the only 2 exercises in the workout that has weights, so don't you worry. All right, bicep curl. Keep the palms facing the ceiling as you forward press. Bring them back to the shoulders, and then finish the curl down. So curl up, press it out, back in, and down. All right. If you only have fairly heavy weights and that forward press on the bicep work is too hard, then you can just do bicep curls. We're going back to the zigzag raise. Here we go. Back to the front, overhead, back down, out to the side, and down. Out to the front. Bring it up, down, out, and reset. Nice work. We're working our shoulders primarily here. So if your shoulders are getting tired, that's what we're after. Watch that you're not locking your elbows out. So we don't want to be in this locked elbow position, but keep the elbows slightly bent at all times. All right. We're back to the bicep curls. So we're doing 2 sets of each exercise in a row, and then we're going to go to that offset squat and do 2 sets of those per side. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So bicep curl, forward press, back to the shoulder, and back down. Again, if your weights are just too heavy and the forward press portion is a little too challenging, no problem, just stick with your standard bicep curl motion. If your weights are really light and the bicep curl is not really getting anything, then you can just work on the forward press. This is the harder part of the movement, so you can just work on that if coming down here is feeling like a waste of your time. I don't know what weights you got at home, so I don't know what the best option is for you. You'll have to determine that yourself. Nice work. All right, so now we're heading into the offset squat. So, offset squat, we are hip width apart. We're gonna shift our weight over to our left leg, right toes touching back slightly on the floor, and then we're gonna go through a squat. We're trying to turn it into as much of a single leg squat as possible, so we're not using the back leg, except for balance primarily. Here's it from the side. The depth is what you're comfortable with. Don't feel you have to get your hips to your knees or beyond, but don't be afraid to do so if you have healthy knees and there's no discomfort when you do it. Beautiful. Okay, we're going off to the other side. And then we'll come back to the first side again. So, shifting my weight onto my right leg, left toes pointing back. Time to work the right side. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Notice when we do squat motions that we keep the chest tall. We're really thinking about sitting the hips down when we do squats. So we want to try and avoid the shoulders dropping and the hips not dropping. That turns it more into a hinge motion. It's all about how far are those hips going. You should be feeling the quad in the planted leg, or in this case the right leg. That's getting the most of the work. And good, okay. If you don't want to rest for a full 20 seconds, you can always get started a little bit early. You don't have to wait for the timer if you don't want to. We're going back to working the left side. Same exercise, offset squats. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Nice work, keep it there. You know what I've realized is one of the great advantages of social isolation and distancing? Is nobody can smell you. If you've been following these videos, you noticed I did 2 live workouts with this shirt yesterday. I neglected to bring a new one today, so we get 2 more live workouts with the same top. I'm very happy that you can't smell me right now. So there is a benefit to social isolation. Okay, we are getting ready for the other side, guys. Waiting up on the right side. Left toes slightly back, just for balance. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Think of dropping both hips at the same level. Oh, I forgot to mention, my timer doesn't go to enough intervals to allow me to get this last 40 seconds in, so we're just gonna go based on that clock here. I'll let you know when we're done. You just keep going. This is the end of the circuit after this anyways. Sorry, I was saying keeping the pelvis square, so try not to drop the left side more than the right, or the right more than the left for that matter, but in this case, you might feel your left side wanting to drop more. We got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice quad work there. Okay, that's the end of the round. We're going to take just 90 seconds or so. Enough time for me to explain the next exercise that's coming up. So circuit number 2, we are starting with that single leg walkout again. Every circuit starts there. The first 2 exercises will be up, up, down, down, and beast kickbacks. Now this is going to be probably fairly challenging on the shoulders, so just keep that in mind, and I'll give you some alternatives as we go. So the first one, up, up, down, down. We're going to go into a plank position. You'll probably need your feet a little bit wider than normal here, and we're going to, under control, lower the elbow to the floor, the other elbow to the floor. First hand up, press back up to the hands. So left elbow down, right elbow down, left hand up, right hand up. first time through, we'll keep leading with the one arm. The second time through, we'll keep leading with the other arm. Just easy to remember that way. Your second exercise is a beast kickback. It's also in that plank position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, but the knees are not touching the floor. You're gonna kick straight back until the leg is straight. Bring it right back in. Other side. Again, don't let the knees touch the floor unless you need to. This is probably going to be the most challenging on the shoulders, so if you need breaks, take your breaks. After we do 2 sets of those, we're going to go into figure 4 hip drives. I'll show these in this direction. So lying on your back, cross your right leg over your left thigh. This knee, your right knee is going to want to come up in the air. We're going to try to keep it pushed down at all times. We're going to drive the hips up and back down. All right, 40 on one side, 40 on the other side. Here's the last thing I'll say before we get the timer going. If you think 2 full rounds of those shoulder exercises will be too much for you, then I encourage you to do 1 set of each. The up, down, down, beast kickback. And then when I go back to the up, down, downs, you go over to the first set of figure 4 hip drives. And then when I go into figure 4 hip drives, you go back to up, down, down. So you switch upper and lower every set, as opposed to doing both upper body sets in a row and then both lower body in a row. So that's an option for you if you feel it's going to be a little too much. All right, let's get this going here. I think it was program 1. We'll find out. All right, so single leg walkouts to begin. Right leg on the floor, kick the left leg back, hand walkouts, optional push up. Walk it back in, upright without touching the foot to the floor. It's your balance exercise for the workout. Good. 40 seconds on the one side. Before we switch over to the other side. Nice, switch legs, right into it. There's no 20-second rest on the walkouts. Ten seconds left. And time. When I'm looking at the timer, it's through a mirror. So the 5s look like 2s, the 2s look like 5s. Sometimes I miss out where we're at. All right, guys, up, down, down is first. So coming down, plank position, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Left elbow down, right elbow down. Left hand up, right hand up, and repeat. You can do these ones at the knees. That's no problem if the feet is a little too tricky. What I want you to focus on is try not to let the hips rock back and forth, side to side. Try to keep the pelvis as square as you can. And that's where having a wider foot stance helps. If your feet are wide here, you can really brace and control what your pelvis are doing. If your feet are together, then you're gonna get more of that shift back and forth. Okay, beast kickbacks. So hands are on the shoulders, under the shoulders, knees just off the floor. 3, 2, 1. Full extension. Reset the foot, other side. So we're alternating sides here. To really challenge yourself, make sure your knee comes back right under the hip. Oh, I think that should be 40 seconds and it's only 20. You guys get a 20-second break on that, the first round of that second exercise. Okay, if you're going to hip drives on the floor, get on your back. If you're going back to upper body, up, down, down. Here we go. We'll get the full set of the beast kickbacks on the next round, I promise. It's just a timer issue. Try to keep the hands under the shoulders. Almost there. Nice work. All right, beast kickbacks for the full 40 this time. So as I was saying, try to keep the knees under the hips. So your knees are about 90 degrees. Here we go. So think of the knees just kissing the floor. You may find as you get tired that you start to go here. Notice how high my hips are, how high my knees are. That's fine if you want to make it easier, but if you want to keep challenging yourself the most, then try to keep the knees down. If your shoulders are done, place your knees on the floor, and then do some bird dogs. Opposite arm and leg will raise off the ground. You can also do the bird dogs with the knees up. All right, I'm on my back now. It's a figure 4 hip drives. If you did the switch, then you're going back to the up, down, downs now. So figure 4 hip drive on your back. Cross the right leg over the left thigh. Here we go. We're going to drive the hips up and then control back down without touching the floor. Drive it up and back down. Watch that right knee. It's going to want to come up in the air. Keep pushing it down. But when you push the right knee down, make sure the right hip doesn't drop. So we still want to keep the pelvis squared up, which is really challenging, especially if you got tight muscles, tight rotators around the hip. It's tough to keep the knee down and the hip up. This might be just as much a stretch exercise as it is a strengthening exercise for you. All right, we're off to the other side. Left leg over the right thigh. Okay, let's get ready. Don't let the knee come up. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Really driving the left hip up, keeping the left knee down. Driving through the right heel. We should be getting work in the right glute. You might feel lots going on in the left hip, but it's the right side that's working in terms of lifting body weight off the ground. Keep the abs engaged. We don't want to get that hyperextension in the low back. And the longer you stay at the top, the more work you're going to get. So try not to just drive up and come down. Drive up and come down. You want to control up and stay there as long as you're comfortable before you slowly come back down. All right, we got to switch sides. All right, everybody's doing hip drives now. Here we go. So one more set on each of these. Remember that the timer's going to be going away after this side. I'll have to count you guys down when we get back to the working the right leg. Spend more time at the top if you can, and make sure you come down nice and slow. Only touching the hips to the floor if you need the rest. Nice work. All right, switch sides. I'm just gonna get my Stopwatch here. 10 seconds. Okay, left leg over to the right thigh. 2, 1, and here we go. 40 seconds. How many of you are just noticing some coffee stains on your ceiling right now that you've never noticed before? Halfway, 20 seconds left. Coming up to the end of our second circuit. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 40. Nice work. All right, come on up from there. Grab some water, guys. 90 seconds to prep for the next round. All right. So what does our third circuit start with? It always starts with that single leg walkout. So we're going right back there. Excuse me, back there again. Our first 2 exercises. We have an isometric push-up. So we're going to get into a standard push-up position. Typically hands just outside shoulder width apart. Make sure the hands are in line with the chest as opposed to the face. We're going to lower ourselves down until our elbows are close to 90 degrees. And then we're just going to hold. Holding that bottom position for as long as you can. When you can't hold it anymore, the knees come to the floor if they're not already there. We hold as long as we can. When you can't hold that anymore, you're going to push up until your arms are straight and just hold a plank till the end of the round. Second exercise is a prone snow angel. So this is toward the back and the spine extensors. So great postural exercise. Lying face down on the floor. Legs together, arms by the side, palms down. We're going to bring the arms overhead as we open up the legs. And then bring everything back together. So if you've ever made a snow angel in the snow before, then it's that same thing, but you'll do it face down on the ground. If you've never made a snow angel before, turn the video off, get out into the snow and give it a go. Everyone should do at least one snow angel if they live in Winnipeg. Alright, so we got the iso push-up, we got the prone snow angel, and then our third exercise is a side plank leg raise. So side plank position from the knee or from the feet or foot, and the top leg is going to go up and down. If that's too tough or you're tired, you can lie right on the floor and do side leg raises without the side plank. If you want to get a little bit more out of your workout, and you have a mini band handy, you can throw that around your ankles or your knees as you're doing your leg raise, and that'll really turn on the glutes nicely. All right, here we go. I'm going to make one small change on the fly here, guys. Instead of starting with the push-up, we're going to start with the prone snow angel, and we'll do the push-up second. Because remember that first round of the second exercise is only 20 seconds instead of 40, so we're going to do a round of 20 seconds on the iso push-up because it's a really tough exercise, and then we'll do 40 on the next round. All right, you don't need to worry about remembering that. I will hopefully remember and cue you. Let's get program 1 going. All right, guys, single leg walkouts for the last time to start off our last round. I'm going to start on the left leg this time. I generally try to think about switching which side of my body I start on in any exercise, from set to set or from workout to workout. So I'm not always pre-fatiguing the same side when I come back to an exercise. You notice I'm not doing the push-up because we have that isometric push-up coming up. I'm trying to save a little bit of energy to see if I can make it. the full 20 seconds. All right, switch sides. Right leg on the walkouts. Remember, trying not to touch that floating foot to the floor unless you have to. That was either 12 or 15 seconds left. I didn't look at it long enough. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Okay, so we're starting with the prone snow angel. Face down on the floor, palms facing down. All right, let's get ready. If you need something under your waist or hips for comfort, use a towel or a pillow. Here we go, open up, arms and legs out, and then bring them back into the side. You could also throw a mini band around the ankles on this one, if you'd like. If you have those light weights handy, you can hold on to the weights, but I wouldn't say go heavier than 5 pounds. Probably 3s or 5s will all you'll do, or will be all you do in this exercise. Keep the chest up, keep the arms up. Good. All right, isometric push-up, just 20 seconds due to that timer error. Look at that working for our benefit. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Try to find 90 degrees and hold. Nice work. That's a tough one, guys. Right back to the prone snow angel for 40 seconds. Okay, less than 10. Let's get ready. Here we go. Chest up, legs up, arms up. Everything opens. See how far you can get your legs. And when you move your legs out to the side, try to keep your toes pointing straight down to the floor, as opposed to the toes turning out, if you can. It's one of those exercises that doesn't look like much. It's quite challenging. Almost there. Good. All right, 40-second isometric push-up. Hit the knees when you need to, if you need to. All right, let's get ready. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Keep pushing. My knees are down. Less than 10. That was one of the toughest things I have to do all week. Okay, guys. Side leg raise. Optional side plank. You can either lie on your side or go into the side plank for it. Either from the knee, in which case your foot is behind you. Foot behind you. Top leg goes up and down. When we're raising the top leg, I want you to pay attention that you're not turning your toes up to the ceiling. Because that's going to bring your hip flexor into the movement and your pelvis will roll back. We don't want that. So keep your pelvis roll forward And think of driving your heel through the ceiling and not your toes. If we keep the leg in that position, your leg's not going to go as high, but it's going to work the butt or the glutes as opposed to your hip flexors, and that's where we want it. Other side. Another thing that will help with keeping it in the right spot, if you think of your leg position relative to your torso, don't have the leg in front of your body. In fact, have it slightly behind the body. So try to almost get your leg outside of your visual perspective or visual field. That should help you focus on the right muscle. Your leg won't go very high if you're very strict on that movement. Keep the hips forward. Keep the hips high. Keep the toes straight forward, not turning up. That's the toughest part. Good. All right, first side. We're going to throw a challenge at you. We're going to get our leg up, and we're just going to hold it as long as we can. When you can't hold it anymore, then you can go to your reps. I'm staying on my knee for the side plank. Some of you might be cruising off your foot. Good for you. Woo. Fight to that position. Make sure the pelvis is rolled forward. Don't lean back. When you're tired, like I am, then go through your reps. If that's too much, lie down and just do the leg raise. Focus on working the glutes from a lying down position. All right, guys. Flip it around. Last exercise. 40 seconds here, and then that's it. All right, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Keep the leg out as long as you can. I got your 40-second count, don't you worry. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. When it's too tough, just start your reps. Keep it going. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. That's it. All right. Another workout completed. Thanks, guys. Where are we at for time? Oh yeah, we started a few minutes late. That's why I'm a little bit over here. All right, just going to do a couple stretches with you guys here. And I'm gonna call it a video. So let's do our lateral chain stretch because we just finished off working the glute medius pretty hard. So I want you to take your right leg, step back behind your left. Your right arm is going to come up. You're going to grab the wrist with your left hand and pull your arm over to your left. Think of pushing your hips out to the right side. So you get a nice stretch all down the outside of that right torso. Release there. All right. Left leg behind the right leg. Left arm comes up, grab that wrist with the right hand and pull over to the right as you push your hips to the left. All right. Release through there. We're going to go to an adductor stretch. Nice and wide stance with the legs. As wide as you're comfortable going. Toes pointing straight forward. And then we're going to slide the hands down the legs or down to the floor to just give some extra stability and balance. And we're looking to stretch out the inner thighs. Again, just a reminder, if you want a bit of a heavier workout, join us tonight at 5 p.m. We have our heavy weights, so heavy dumbbells or kettlebells will come out this evening. Okay, come on down from there. Roll to your right side. So left leg is up in the air, grab the ankle. Put your right heel onto your left thigh and kick that leg back as you pull the foot up towards your butt, and you're going to squeeze your left glutes to push your pelvis forward. Combination of those three things should give you a really nice stretch coming through your quadricep and maybe your hip flexor as well. That's a nice stretch. All right. We've got this one to repeat on the opposite side. And then I'm going to let you guys go. So lying on the left side, grab a hold of the right ankle, pull the knee back into full flexion. You're going to get your left heel, place it up on your right thigh, and kick the leg back. Squeeze your right glutes to push your pelvis forward. Deep breaths, let things relax. Maybe this was a good warm-up before you go out and shovel all that snow that fell. If that's on your to-do list. Just make sure you use your legs when you're shoveling. Don't put too much stress through the low back. All right, guys. That's it for another workout. One little announcement for those that might be interested during this time of lockdown. We'll probably have it up on our website hopefully by the end of today, end of Friday. If not, it'll definitely be up by the end of this weekend. But we're going to be launching one of the Manitoba Fitness Council courses. So those are courses that people who typically want to become fitness instructors or personal trainers, they go through these courses that prepare them to become certified instructors and trainers through the Manitoba Fitness Council, which is a great organization. You get kind of liability insurance. They have a whole bunch of great perks, great advantages to being involved with them. We've been teaching the courses for Manitoba Fitness Council for probably about 7 or 8 years now. So we've had hundreds and hundreds of people coming through that have gone on to teach fitness classes, just like kind of what I'm doing with you guys here. Normally we run those on the weekends. We can't run any in person right now, but we are going to be live streaming the exercise theory course, which is the first course. It's theory based. It's the first course you need to take before you take more of a practical based course. And you learn everything from anatomy to biomechanics to nutrition to principles of exercise and programming. So a lot of kind of the the ingredients and the theoretical foundation that goes behind planning workouts, planning exercise, and cueing people for efficiency and safety. So if that's something that you might be interested in partaking, maybe you're looking at maybe considering fitness as a part-time job or a changing career, or maybe just for personal interest. We are going to be running a course. It'll probably be 4 hours a day from Monday through Friday, or we'll do 5 hours a day, probably from like Monday to Thursday. We're looking to do that in 2 weeks' time. So I guess that would be like the 3rd week of April. But we'll have all the information up on our website. And we did that course via live stream a couple of weekends ago. It went really well, so we're going to live stream it again. So if you're looking for something to do, instead of just kind of sticking at home, waiting around for these videos to show up, or you're sick of, I don't know, whatever you might be doing at home, here's an opportunity to maybe get a little bit more knowledge behind fitness. kickstart a new career if you're interested. So definitely take a look on our website. Under the services MFC courses link, you'll see kind of all the information on the courses, and when you see that there's an exercise theory date announced for April, then you know that's the one. Feel free to register for that one online if you would like. And if you want more information on it, give us a call or drop us an email, info@morfit.ca, and we will definitely answer any questions you might have. Thanks a lot, guys, for taking part. Maybe I'll see you a bit later in about 4 hours for some heavyweight work. And if I'm not then now you can officially have a good weekend. Even though I mentioned it yesterday already, enjoy the weekend with your family and friends, and enjoy the snow, guys. See you later.